Welcome back to the unnamed project, where today I try my hand at making exhaust manifolds. Excellent. Welcome back, guys. If you guys didn't get the hint there, today we're building up some exhaust manifolds. So if you guys have just been tuning in here, we're continuing our work on our 65 Ford Galaxy 4-door, Ford Custom 4-door, Ford 4-door, 65 main points. There you go. We took a 3.8 injection engine, converted back to carburetor, and put a T5 transmission behind that. Go ahead and watch these links. It'll catch you up to speed. Today, we're going to pick up where I left last time. So the transmission's in the hole right now, and now the next thing I have to do is to sort out the clutch pedal assembly. So I'm going to finish that before I go any further. Shouldn't be too long. It's a pretty simplistic job usually there. I'll carry you through the process there. Then we're going to start cutting up pipes and doing all sorts of crazy stuff. Actually, now I'm thinking about it, I'm going to show you two ways of doing this. So I'm going to make a set of custom headers from scratch, and then I'm going to make, I'm going to make one header from scratch, and then I'm going to use one of the manifolds that I already have and modify that one. So, you know, kind of show you options for all this stuff, right? So where do I start here? I want to start fitting the clutch pedal. So what I'm planning on doing here is this brake pedal is massive because, you know, it's power brake and it's automatic, so it's made for both your feet, right? I'm gonna cut it a little bit. So the reason behind that is just that if I put the clutch like right here, it's really inconveniently placed, right? So it's too tight between the park brake and where the brake pedal is gonna be, right? So I'm gonna cut this a little bit to give myself a bit more room, and then afterwards, there we go. See pretty good here. Yeah, then afterwards I'm gonna have to move this little fuse block over. It's just, I don't know, it's in the way from when I'm working right now. And then you can see immediately to the left of the brake assembly bracket, there's an empty spot there. And that's where we're gonna put our clutch pedal. So I'll try to set you up to kind of show you what exactly I'm doing here, and then we'll get it going at the same time. I'll find the clutch pedal I'm using and the slave that I'm thinking about using, and I'll show you that in a minute. So this is basically the assembly I'm using. So as you can tell here, it's a Willwood pedal assembly. I think these are universal in the sense that they are clutch or brake. And I like them because they're nice and easy to install. They're a nice sturdy pedal. It's missing the pedal. It's missing the thing. Yeah, the thing. There you go. And then the slave I'm using is, I think it's by Luke. And I like it because they're nice and compact. There's nothing too complicated about them. But the keen eye, pretty sure saw the problem I have already, right? This one's a loop, and this one here is threaded. There we go. So anyways, not quite sure what I'll do. I'll see where it lines up. I'll probably just end up cutting this here and then threading it. And, you know, there's no, how can I say this? There's no extension. So, I mean, in the sense that it doesn't pull this way. So you're going to push, so it's always in compression. And then when the pressure tries to come back, it'll also go in the compression. So even if I have to cut and weld a stud onto here or something, compression is a lot stronger than extension, right? So if you guys haven't figured it out yet, this one goes through the firewall, and then all you do is you bore a hole that's a little bit bigger than here, and then these two parts will mate together and pinch the firewall in place. So I'm pretty sure a bunch of you guys have already seen this stuff, but just thought I'd show you the parts quick, and I'll get going with the whole. So I needed a hand for this. Turns out that holding stuff together and you know, not having a third hand is actually kind of hard. So this one's in. The precious. Yes. So as you can see, this is what I meant about having to trim the brake pedal. So I'm going to cut it here, and then I'm pretty sure it'll be enough room. If it's not, I'll take off the brake pedal, and then I'll just give it an extra little whoop-de-doo here, just to push the pedal over. So I'll cut that off, and then we'll get to the next little part there. Oh, and I was even able to put the fuse block back in. Wow, look at that. Well, never a dull moment when you're doing this kind of stuff, I'll tell you what. So yeah, turned out not too bad. I got plenty of room now. And then the pedal still needs to be adjusted. Like it's about, you can see it's like way up there. So I'd like it to be probably around here somewhere, just so it's like nice in the middle of everything. But keep in mind that nothing's adjusted yet, right? So I'm gonna wait until the whole line, slave, and bleeding portion is done. Then I'll adjust the screw up top there. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, there we go. The rod. Oh, come on. Do stuff for me. There we go. The rod that sticks out there. All I'm going to do basically is just screw in the receiver end here, screw it in a bit further, and that's what's going to adjust my my pedal height. So that part there will be pretty good. All right, guys, just a little reminder, if you watch this far, to hit the old subscribe button. It helps a lot when it comes time to feed the project. So off camera the other day, I went ahead and oh, come on. There we go. Went ahead and I put this this slave assembly, right? It's yes, it's off of a Hyundai, I think, or something like that. It was just what happened to be on hand. I made a quick little bracket like you can see. There's a piece of flex hose, and that flex hose comes up to here. So all I have to do now is make a little line from our slave down to our flex hose, and this part will be done. There we go. Nice little simplistic little line. It's got the bends that I need on it. If you guys have never done this before, you can get these really cheap little tools, right? So all you do, in a nutshell, is when you open it up, you find the appropriate size, you put your line through it, and then when you pinch, you can also force it a little bit, you get the bend that you want into it, right? So, okay guys, so switching gears a little bit here. So the next problem I have, obviously, I have to attack this manifold. This manifold is annoying me, sorry, the exhaust manifold, because along with the theme of everything else, we're just gonna make our own exhaust manifolds, because why not? You know what I mean? Why not? It really doesn't matter. There's a gentleman that left a comment, actually. I'm gonna address that while I'm there. His comment was on a few videos ago, and his question was, hey, well, not hey, it was straight up, why are you doing this? All these parts are available. So everything I was doing here, he was saying I could get it online, right? I really appreciate that guy's comment, and I answered to him that the problem I had is at that time, stuff isn't available, right? So trying to find production or correction supply chains and all that stuff, it's kind of hard, right? So I'd rather just do like if I can't find it or if the part doesn't exist, because you have to remember all this stuff you can apply onto any vehicle you want, any engine combination. You just have to change the shape of stuff a little bit, right? So if you have this super unique vehicle with an even more unique engine or whatever, and you want to make it work, you can apply all this stuff on there. So I was going to do the exhaust manifolds, like I said, and my first bump in the road, if you will, is I need a way to physically bolt this onto the head of the engine, right? So you need a flange of some sort. Really easy. I have the old manifold, so what I could do is simply kind of trace it out there and then cut out 6 individual flanges. I'm gonna try to do something else first. So I have the manifold, right? And these are the flanges that I'm talking about. I could copy them and cut them out, for example, right? I'm gonna try something else. So I'm gonna try to cut, I'll try to get a good angle for you. I'm gonna try to basically cut right here to only keep the part that bolts and discard the rest. The reason I want to do that is I'm going to try to reuse those cast iron flanges and then use that as the base of my new manifold. As you can guess, they're made out of cast iron. Cast iron's kind of lame, but I have this special rod here. So I tried to find a rod that was a nickel iron alloy, and that stuff is like $90 a pound at the time right now. So wasn't gonna go that way. Oh, the other thing too, only available in 10-pound sleeves. Ugh! That's for TIG stuff, right? So what I did is I bought a 1-pounder of the same alloy, but in a arc welding rod. So before I start going too far into this, I'm gonna cut this out. I'm gonna try to do a couple welds on here with the arc welding method. And then another thing that I thought is that since it's the same alloy, I could just clean off the gas shield around the arc weld and use that as a filler rod for the TIG. So I'm curious, let's see what's up. I love this, man, I love this. All right, so I went ahead and cleaned myself a little area here. Apologize for the audio, I don't have the microphone on right now. Basically, I cleaned up an area here. I took my zip cut, made a slice in here, and then cleaned up the whole thing. Then I beveled it out with a grinder stone or whatever you want to call it there. Apparently, you don't have to preheat. We're going to test that. I gotta say, so far I'm pretty impressed. I don't know if you guys will be able to see this, but come on, you can see the discoloration where the weld, there we go, right beside the hole. So in this area here, you can see the two dissimilar metals there. So I went ahead and ground into that right away. This is just me adjusting there, so there's a little bit of a hole going on. But if a crack was to occur, sorry, it would have happened somewhere around here. All right, so the next bit, like I said here, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna sacrifice one of these rods. I'm gonna take off the gas here, and I'll give it a try with the TIG just to see if I get a little bit of a better result. So far, I'm pretty impressed though. I don't know if you guys heard that crack over the weld. So I don't know if you guys will be able to see, but the failure happened right there. So basically, okay, so I had the blowtorch on it. I got it way hotter than it would get in the car, and while it was like super hot, I went and I quenched it under water. So I got no cracks on that one. Based on the fact that the arc failed and the TIG didn't, the AC TIG specifically, I'm gonna use that method, right? So correct me, please correct me, people. I know I'm doing something wrong, but if it holds, I really don't care. All right guys, sorry about that. I had a little bit of an issue with the recording there, but basically once all the tubes were bolted up, what I did is just put on the collector tube, if you will, and just tacked it on, right? So that gives me the right dimensions and angles and everything. Then everything is viced on right now. So now what I can do is separate all the tacks that I just did, do my holes properly, and then afterwards re-weld the whole thing. So it's just a lot easier that way, and having this big thick piece of steel keeps everything nice and straight, so I'm good to go on that end. Yes, yes, Mad Max would be so proud. All right, so basically I got the manifold kind of boogered together for now, which is, I don't really care. This is all temporary anyways. I had this T4 flange with the wastegate as much inline as possible, right? So it'll control it like pretty much as best as possible. And I cut that off an old pair of headers I had for some junky motor. But yeah, look at this all fitted up there, because obviously it doesn't fit the best at all. But hey, who cares? It'll be good to go when it's done. Woo! Attack of the house flies. All right, so yeah, finished putting that thing together. I went ahead and bolted it up, right? So it looks a little funky, but you know what? I really don't care. So I cut that piece from the header, like I mentioned. She's all on there. The turbo goes on here, and I took it apart here, but you can still get a rough idea of what's gonna happen, right? So there we go. She goes right there, and the wastegate's gonna be right there. So that's cool and all. Ooh. Sorry about that. So that's cool and all, but I don't know if you guys noticed, there's only one exhaust connected to here. Insert other side. So I got a bit of a plan to put another turbo onto here, which might be this guy. But I'll show you a bit more in detail here. Just give me a sec. So maybe a bit of a surprise to you guys. Hopefully it wasn't if you're paying attention. I had a little bit of a teaser in a previous video. So the plan was always to put 2 turbos on this thing. Why? I got a smoking deal on a pair of them. So you know what? Why not do it? For the driver's side, I'm going to do something a little different. 2 reasons, actually. A, it'll be a lot quicker. And B, it's to kind of show you guys different options, right? So we went and we did like a custom, if you will, collector, header, whatever you want to call it for the other side. This side here, actually, sorry, I'll start over a little bit. The reason we did that on the other side is that I had no way of fitting any exhaust whatsoever in there. So you need a way to collect the exhaust to send it to the turbo. And I wasn't gonna just, you know, put one side with the whatever, it doesn't make sense. This side I'm a bit more lucky in the sense that one of the manifolds actually does happen to fit backwards on this side. So I took the one from the passenger side. We didn't need that. And what I want to do is to put it against the engine like this with this part pointing upwards. But I got to modify this guy. So earlier when we were doing the tests on the cast iron and everything, my big thing, my big plan, if you will, was always going to be to work on this side, to try to re-weld this side. So yeah, basically all I got to do is just move this flange, point it forward, and then afterwards we're going to have another piece of exhaust that clamps onto here, and then that's going to feed the other turbo. I could leave it just as is, but there'd be a weird S kind of looking thing, and wouldn't necessarily be the greatest. So yeah, let's get going with this guy. So I'm going to keep the line that the manifold already has. So the manifold kind of flows nicely in this direction. Put the flange, actually cut this flange, maybe cut it right here, just so we don't have the O2 sensor in the way. Cut that out of the way. Then we're going to angle it forward here, and then we'll take it from there. There guys, sorry about the background noise there, but in a nutshell, that's basically going to be air. So just changed up the angle a little bit, and then should be good to go. Whew. All right, so the next day here, I want to let this thing cool down as much as I can, and I just grabbed it. Haven't looked at it yet, so I'm gonna do a little inspection. How disappointing. It didn't crack. Oh me, oh my, I heard Will Porter cry. Oh me, oh my, I got 2 freaking turbos! Woo! My apologies, that was a little hardcore. Phew, I am super pumped here, super pumped. Unfortunately though, ran out of time, so I had to end on a high note and just show you a bit more footage of what it kind of looks like when it's bolted up in there. I mocked up a couple lines quickly just to kind of, you know, have an idea what it looks like. Next week's video, we're going to finish the oiling system, kind of important, right? And get all the pipes mocked up. And I believe I'm gonna take you through how I build a carburetor hat. More specifically, a boosted carburetor hat. You can't always find them. You can't always find them. I know what you're thinking. So yeah. Hopefully you'll be there for that one. Your man Porter here signing out. Little friendly reminder to comment, like, share, subscribe. I'll see you on the next one.